wide receivers the WCL has to offer.
Yeah, he was in a really good form. A couple of nice pass defenses on deep balls in that game. That was a 28-0 win for Menlo Atherton. But it's a 7-0 Bellarmine lead as
this is a demonstration of
Wirecast. Again, Mike Janda saying earlier this week that we would see Casey Jabe, who has missed the first part of the season.
And as we're going to see the Riordan offense get on the field, we'll get a look at quarterback Adam Abdelghani, who has thrown for 649 yards for this season. You know, this is a team that loves to pass. They go out in 4 wide receiver sets, similar to what we've seen before against Bellarmine. And the issue always remains, how will the Bell linebackers be able to cover against multiple wide receivers, which really isn't a good matchup for the Bells, but we've seen them make good use of it in the past.
Well, a 15-yard penalty assessed against Riordan is going to result in a touchback. And so the Crusaders will take over after the touchback. 7:56 to go, first quarter, trailing 7-0. They will take over at their own 20-yard line. Akshaj has mentioned some of the stats from Adam Abdelghani. He's thrown for 8 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions, 5 touchdown passes in the win over Napa that tied his school record. He threw for 304 yards in that game. 3 of them went to Marcus Williams. He is number 6 on your screen as Abdelghani back to pass. Nice throw to Marcus Williams. There he is running down the sideline. No one's going to catch him. And an 80-yard touchdown reception on the first play from scrimmage for the Riordan offense. How about the touch on that pass, Akshaj?
That was beautiful. I mean, that's exactly what you want from a wheel pass. Give your receiver a room to run down the sideline. Make sure the defender can't get it. And you know, this is exactly what we were talking about literally seconds ago. We had a linebacker on a wide receiver, and it went in Riordan's favor, as it always should go, because a linebacker almost never can match up against the speed of a wide receiver.
Well, coming into this game, Marcus Williams was averaging nearly 21 yards per reception. He now has 11 receptions on the season for 289
this is a demonstration
yards.
Of Wirecast.
It's a pretty good yards per catch average.
And it's surprising seeing Riordan go out and the pass so early. Coach Morris had told me that he wants to be able to run the ball and from there be able to open up his playbook. Yet going out with the wheel pass early and getting quick touchdown because of it.
High snap, but the extra point is through from the right leg of Carlos Valencia, and we are tied at 7 with 7:44 to go in the first quarter.
Of Wirecast.
Well, that was a quick first drive, Akshaj.
And you know, all the momentum coming back. It's alumni weekend. The stadium's packed. Everyone's cheering. You just score a touchdown. You got a penalty, and then boom. It's just all gone. Let's see if the Bells can recreate that momentum.
Well, this certainly has the makings of a game that could be a shootout, considering Riordan's offense and the way that Bellarmine's offense really played a lot better in the second half against Napa. They have certainly had their moments offensively. And that first drive, Bellarmine was unstoppable. So we'll see, potentially a 1st to 50 wins this one. Plenty of football left.
And one thing, I think for the Bells, their best defense in this game is going to be their offense. Having nice long drives, killing as much time as possible. Keep this vaunted Riordan offense off the field.
It was a 4-minute, 4-second drive. The first time they had the football, I think they would take that every time. So Valencia will boot it deep for Riordan with the purple helmets and the white tops and pants. Purple striping down the sides for the Crusaders, based out of San Francisco, one of 3 San Francisco schools in the West Catholic Athletic League. And again, a short kick that is, there is Casey Jabe, number 1, playing in the return game, and he gets it up to the 38.
I'm pretty sure that's what Coach Janda wanted to use his starting punter slash kicker for, returning kicks.
This is a demonstration
At the
of Wirecast.
39-yard line is where they will mark him down, give him a couple of yards on the return. He is also listed as a wide receiver and cornerback.
Oh, my.
So kind of your do-it-all kicker.
Mm-hmm. Almost like George Blanda.
Yeah, that's a name. So 1st and 10 from the 39. Been grown out of the gun. 3 wide receiver set with Packard, Pinelli, and Magri. Anthony Magri, the guy lined up to the near side. And it's a screen toss to Anthony. Nice grab, makes a move, and gets pushed down at around the 41-yard line. The big hit laid there by Dylan Ruggiero.
And you know, even though Riordan gave up a touchdown, I'm pretty sure they're making Bellarmine feel them. Nice physical hits, laid the foundation for what this game's going to be. Make the opposing team scared to throw it to you because they don't want to get laid out.
I'll give him 3 on that play. So 2nd and 7 from the 42, 7:05 and counting. First quarter, we are tied at 7 here. There's Mengrone. Play action. No, he'll keep it and has nowhere to go. Michael Estrada, the first guy there for the Crusaders. That will be a loss, and Estrada is pumped up.
And you know, that was a pretty move by Mengrone, at least getting back to the line of scrimmage, it seems, after having nothing there. Beautiful back juke. Make something out of nothing. At least don't put your team behind the sticks.
This is a
3rd and 8 is what it'll bring up
Wirecast.
from the 41. 6.5 to play.
Frustrated, a little unsettled, and try to make a play on the ball here.
4 receivers set. Throws far side. Passes incomplete. Intended for Pinelli. Good coverage on the play from Joshua DeJesus. And the Bells will go 3 and out here.
This is a
And they will be
demonstration of
forced to punt.
Wirecast.
And even their 3 and out took 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly what Bell wants. They're taking time off the clock, but like you said,
4th and 8. As the punt is coming up here from Schaefer. And back deep, Marcus Williams. The rugby-style punt almost
This
blocked.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And this will be down at the 29, so a kick of about 30 yards.
and you know, rugby-style punts always scare me a little. But they're always so interesting to see because the guy's running for practically 7 steps. You might as well go for it sometimes on rugby-style punts.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no one there coming to block the kick, and you see a lane, that time the lane really wasn't there.
I don't know. The
This
biggest
is a
rugby-style punt I can
demonstration of
remember is when
Wirecast.
Michigan State blocked Michigan's.
Oh, disastrous end of the game, depending on who you are. Here's the handoff to Jalen Camp, and that's a big hitter. The Riordan running back into plus territory. One guy to beat, it's Magri, and he slows him up enough for some support to come from behind. Eventually tackled on that play by Reese Burrill, but not before a huge gain. They're going to mark him down at the 23. That's a 48-yard gain for Camp.
This
And you
is a
know,
demonstration
Camp has
of
had a
Wirecast.
5.1 yard per carry average. I'm pretty sure he jumped that up a whole yard with that
Just
run.
a bit. Here's Camp, and he is dragged down from behind, holding on for dear life for the Bells there. Number 54, Matthew Gustafson. Now, he did get dragged for a gain of a few yards there as they're going to mark him at the 20, so a gain of 3, but he got to him in the backfield.
You know, this is a quick-paced Riordan offense. I think they're playing to
This
their
is a
strengths, you would think.
demonstration of Wirecast.
Maybe their offense should just stay on the field longer given how bad their defense has been in the past.
It's Camp again and a couple of tacklers on the play, Pinelli and Splain. That'll move the ball to the 16, a gain of 4, making it 3rd down and 3.
And, you know, I'm expecting to see a pass here even though they've run the ball so well. This team has 4 wide receivers at their base. That's kind of what they do. That's their bread and butter.
Abdul Ghani operating out of the gun. Bakshaj is right.
This
Well, it
is
was a pass play, but
demonstration
Abdul
of
Ghani
Wirecast.
taking off. He's inside the 5, looking for the pylon. He is forced out of play at the 2-yard line, but that's a gain of 14 for Abdul Ghani, the Riordan quarterback, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
And you know, in the red zone, this is probably the one place where the Bellarmine 5-3-4 alignment makes the most sense and is probably the best just because this is the, well, 5-3-3. You can't have 12 men on the
12
field.
guys on the field.
But this is where their bulk should be able to make some plays, especially when there's not a lot of space for athletes to run.
3 wide receivers far side for Abdul Ghani and company. Nicholas Milburn, the backup running back in there. He takes the handoff to his left. Nowhere to go. He is stood up. Reese Burrill, the first guy there, got some help from Liker, and that's going to be a loss on second down, or excuse me, that was the first down play, so that'll bring up second down. They're actually going to mark that at the 2, so no gain.
Well, actually, they marked the other play at 3. So
Wirecast.
even with that hard running, managed to gain yards, and there's a touchdown.
And into the end zone is Jalen Camp. So he gets in from 2 yards out, and the Crusaders, just like that, up 13-7.
Coach Morris said whoever plays the best defense is going to win this game. And right now it seems like Riordan has the advantage because they've actually stopped the Bells for once.
Yep, they got the 3 and out. Bellarmine yet to stop the Crusaders tonight on their first 2 possessions. Valencia for the extra point. It is up. It is no good wide left. So it stays 13-7 Crusaders with 4:13 to play in the first quarter.
And just from, looking quickly at the Crusaders, I'm starting to see that kicking might not be their strength. They've had 2 basically squib kicks on kickoffs, 2 pretty hard PATs, almost missed both of them, did miss one of them. Let's see if this is something the Bells can exploit.
Valencia was 2 for 3 on extra points coming into this game according to Max Prep stats, so he had missed before. And that does leave 1 point on the board. Well, if he can get 7 every time Riordan gets 6, are there enough touchdowns in the game
I don't know.
To make up that difference? Of course, you don't want it to come to that. The Bells will get it back as Liker and Garcia are back deep to receive, though. We don't expect it to get that far to them, considering how the first 2 kicks went from Valencia. Purposeful pooch punts, or pooch kicks, I should say.
And that surprises me. We haven't seen the Bells really have great returns. I mean, they've had some pretty decent ones, but nothing back-breaking. I'm surprised Valencia isn't trying to boot it as deep as possible.
Here comes another poocher. This one will be taken by Izon Henry. He's got a lane.
That's the wrong
Gets
guy.
to the outside. He's past midfield and down to the 45. Dante Henderson trips him up, number 30 for the Crusaders, but not before a nice return of about 25 yards.
If you're trying to pooch to stop a good return, that's the wrong man to kick it to. I mean, he's shown he has the speed and the ability to make big runs.
He had the 80-yard touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage in the second half 2 weeks ago in the loss to Vintage. Nice return there. 4 wide here for the Bells this time.
And I love this formation mix-up the Bells are doing.
High snap. Garcia's going to have to fall on it. That's going to be a big loss of 9 yards.
Well, maybe if that happens, I'm not liking these formation changes so much. But still, the Bells are showing some diversity in their offense, which is always good to have. It makes the defense stay honest and allows them to get back to running the ball in a lot more open lanes.
2nd and 19 from their own 46 now for the Bells. 3:36 and counting in first quarter.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And 2nd and 19 always brings up a philosophy problem. Are you the team that's going to try to get these yards back, or play it safe and make sure you get positive yards on one play?
They're going to try to get positive yards on one play, and Garcia off the screen. Nice little gain here. He gets down to the 40. He's going to be 5 yards short. Gain of 14 for Garcia.
And screen passes are always the most interesting play in football because they're like a contradiction. You want people to run at you, to throw it to your running back coming off a screen. But at the same time, if you run a screen against a blitz, you might end up with a huge loss.
Yeah, it can be a riskier play than it appears. And that worked out very well. Gain of 14 sets up a 3rd and 5, and you'll take that every time you're facing 2nd and 19.
Let's see what the Bells do here. I mean, they haven't really shown what they do in certain situations. Looks like they're going to pass.
Grown, quick drop
This
back,
is
and
a
a strike
demonstration of
thrown far
Wirecast.
side of the field to Magri for a first down. That's a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And I think we're starting to see a change with Coach Janda. Throwing the ball on 3rd down, that's something you almost never would have seen last year as a Bells fan.
Yeah, well, he said the team isn't big enough this year to run that traditional double wing every down, so they've had to play out of the gun more often, and he's been impressed with the way they've been moving the football since they've kind of gone more shotgun-type action. And it's worked here
This
against
is a
Riordan thus far.
demonstration
1
of
touchdown already and
Wirecast.
driving here with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 31. The pitch back goes to Garcia. Makes one guy miss, but he is pushed down eventually by Raymond Russell. Might have gotten tripped up initially by Marcus Williams. It'll be a short gain for Garcia. Give him 1, and it's 2nd and 9 from the 30.
And you know, talking about quarterbacks and Bells passing, I want to take a quick second to hope that Nick Teresi has a successful recovery. He just had surgery yesterday. Hope he recovers, and next year he can come
This
back
is
and
a
lead this Bells
demonstration
offense.
of
Hurt his shoulder
Wirecast.
first series of the season against Menlo Atherton. Took a big hit.
And you have to wonder what that's done to the Bell offense. Has it made them want to pass more because they don't have Teresi to go to?
Grown, back to pass, has Packard. He's got the first down, made one guy miss, got past Diaz and gets inside the 20. They'll mark him down at the 18-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 12 on the pass.
But you have to wonder if Bellarmine is
is a
going to play into
demonstration of
Riordan's
Wirecast.
strength, not in the fact that their defense is good, but Riordan runs a 5 defensive back scheme.
Yeah.
Running 4 out kind of just plays into their idea of having speed on the field instead of having brawn and strength.
So 1st and 10, under a minute to go. The give is to Tyson Garcia, and he gets nowhere. Yeah, Michael Estrada there, Noah Harris there, and it's a loss of 1 for Tyson.
No, Noah Harris,
This
that was
is
a great read on that
demonstration
play.
of Wirecast.
Beautiful pursuit, basically stuffing that play before it ever had a chance to develop.
2nd and 11 from the 19. 30 ticks left on the first quarter clock, and the clock is running here.
Looks like, I'm thinking they're going to go screen here to Magri, but I'm not sure. Let's see what happens.
Liker was the screen option. He's flushed out of the pocket. Isman Grown. He's going to tuck it and run.
This is
That's a
a
good
demonstration
gain.
of
Ran out of
Wirecast.
bounds inside the 15. They give him the 12. So a gain of 7 will set up a 3rd and 4 with 6.9 seconds to go.
I was so close to having a Tony Romo moment right there.
It's a run to the right.
Mm-hmm. I'd be surprised to see anything other than a run here. I don't know why. This is my gut feeling. Maybe I will become like Romo.
You're calling a run.
Mm-hmm.
This
Let's
is
see.
a demonstration of Wirecast.
Calling it 3rd and a long 4. Last play of the first quarter, and it's Tyson Garcia off left guard for the touchdown. Why don't we just make you the offensive coordinator?
Uh-huh. I don't know. I don't think I ever could have come up with a play that was run to perfection like that. That was beautiful all the way around. Great blocks on that left side by Bowes and Mifson. And Garcia got a beautiful path, wide open hole, right in
This
for a
is
touchdown.
His
demonstration
2nd
of
touchdown
Wirecast.
rush of the game.
You think he's feeling healthy from his injury?
Looks like it. That actually wasn't the last play of the quarter, as Schaefer is on for the extra point, which is good, and the Bells take a 14-13 lead with 3.1 seconds to go here in the first quarter. How about that response from the Bells?
You know, that was... But, you know, when I'm looking at this, the Bells are doing everything right, mostly because even when they're responding, they're not going hurry up, trying to match the tempo of Riordan. They're taking their time.
This is a
The first
demonstration
quarter is
of
almost over and the
Wirecast.
Bells have the lead. And what more can you ask?
Yeah, it is certainly been an entertaining first quarter. Points on points on points on points. We're on pace for a 56-52 ball game.
And you know, after being a Bell fan for around 3 years and seeing several 7-0, 12-0, 12-4, 12-6 win.
12-4. A couple of safeties.
I mean, this is exciting. This is a new type of Bellarmine offense, and it's something I think a lot of fans can get behind because it's more flashy than what people have seen in the past.
Fans of Big 12 football would approve of this first quarter.
No, I don't think so. I think they would get mad. They would say there's too much defense being played here.
14-13. Here comes the kickoff. You got Chris Wiley and Marcus Williams back deep for the Crusaders. And here comes the Schaefer boot.
This is a demonstration of
Returnable
Wirecast.
for Williams from the 13. Setting up his blockers. Running out to the left. Stays on his feet. Scoots his way up past the 30. A flag is down. That will be the last play of the quarter. That flag in the area of a hold or a block in the back against Riordan. We'll keep it here until we get word of the penalty. It is a hold against Riordan, so that'll back him up 10 yards. And we will be back in a bit. You're watching Bellarmine football on BCP Sports live on YouTube. The
This
Bells with a
is a
14-13
demonstration
lead
of Wirecast.
heading into the second quarter.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast. This is a demonstration of Wirecast. This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Back here for the start of the second quarter. It is 14-13 Bellarmine. Riordan has it 1st and 10 from the, where are they spotting this ball? Looks like the 13-yard line.
Says 8-yard line on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that is incorrect. It's definitely past the 10. Sometimes I get it wrong in 5-yard increments. I've been there, but 1st and 10 here for Riordan.
This is a demonstration
Handoff
of
to Camp. He had
Wirecast.
a touchdown already, and he gets tackled at the 15. Luke Splain, one of the guys there, getting some help on that play by Marcus Mifsud, number 58.
And you know, for the Bells, this is important because this is basically the one place where they should never get beat, on the ground. Mostly because they have the talent and they have the size and scheme to stop the run. If they get beat through the air, that's because they chose to get beat like that. But on the ground, they should be able to ball them up every time.
2nd and 8. Into the backfield and wrapping down the ball carrier Camp. Big play there by Matthew Gustafson. That's the second time we've seen him get that quickly into the backfield.
And it's beautiful pursuit there. Perfectly reading a play. Whenever you let an unblocked lineman get in there, you better have your play develop quickly. Otherwise, that's going to be the result every time.
So it brings up a 3rd and 8. 11 minutes to go first half. Abdul Ghani out of the gun. Back to pass. Quick drop back. Throws a strike to the outside, finding Williams for enough for a first down. That gets it up to the 26. That was a gain of 11 on the pass play. That was a dart thrown by Abdul Ghani.
And one thing I saw there, after having Abdul Ghani getting that big run, Joey Liker was put there as a spy to make sure he can't do that again. Taking one more defender out from coverage.
Here's Milburn. Nice gain up the gut. Gets up to the 32-yard line, gain of 6. His second carry. He has 7 yards on the ground. Abdul Ghani 2 for 2 for 91 yards and a touchdown. Both catches made by Williams. An 80-yarder for a touchdown and an 11-yarder on 3rd and 8. Bit of a high snap. Here's Milburn running to the right, trying to gain the edge, and gets tripped up by Reese Burrill before he can get to the 35. Now they give him the 35, but not much else. That is a gain of 3 and brings up a 3rd and 1.
They bring Camp back in. Was their larger back? I'd be surprised if they do anything other than a dive here. Only 1 yard left to go. Don't get too cute with the play call.
Jason Morris considers Jalen Camp their downhill runner. Can really run it between the tackles. Has some speed, but definitely known for taking a licking and keeping on ticking as he breaks a couple of arm tackles, gets his way into the secondary, and he is into plus territory all the way up to the Bellarmine 48-yard line for a gain of 17 yards.
And you know, that's what this situation called for. Don't do anything too cute. Don't throw a couple screens. Go deep on 3rd down. Run the ball. You've shown you can run the ball. Camp has shown he can break some tackles. Pick up your yards and keep the chains moving.
9.5 to play, second quarter play action. Abdul Ghani looking deep. That pass is intercepted by Magri. Magri gets a big block from Splain, stays on his feet, up to the midfield marker and past the 50 to the 48, tackled by Jalen Camp. That pass was intended for Joshua DeJesus, but Magri read it beautifully.
I know, it's exactly what you want to do as a safety. And you know, this has been a problem for Abdul Ghani. Now 6 interceptions on the year. He's running at a 3-to-2 touchdown interception ratio, which sounds pretty good at first, but when you realize it's 9-to-6, doesn't sound as good from Magri, because he does everything right there. Reads the quarterback's eyes. I mean, Abdul Ghani practically, the pass was about to be intercepted. Any way DeJesus could make a play on it.
To go in the first half.
Or they can just plunge it into the end zone, whatever works.
Yeah. A 1-yard to pay dirt for Harriman Groen, who has 5 carries for 49 yards.
Do big things with the ball in his hand. You've just got an 8-point lead. Make sure that momentum stays with you by getting this ball down pretty close in Riordan territory.
Penalty. Yeah, Jabe out there. Has a slot corner or so to appear. High snap play action. Abdul Ghani going to take off. No, he'll look downfield. Has a wide open guy to Jesus. One guy to beat. Racing to the end zone. Stiff arms his way into the end zone, getting past Pinelli for a 65-yard touchdown reception.
That was a beautiful play call right there. Although I'm not sure if it was meant to be a pass. If it was, that was run to perfection. Fake the handoff. Fake the read option. Wide open down the field for a touchdown. And just like that, this is back to being a ball game. Like Williams' long touchdown, you can put that equally on both sides.
Beautiful ball to a streaking DeJesus.
This is a demonstration.
Let's see how Bellarmine
responds.
responds. We've kind of seen them mix it up. They've gone run heavy, pass heavy, had a good mix. I want to see if they try to get all these points back in one big play. Wouldn't be a wise decision given how well methodically marching down the field has been working for them.
Well, it's 21-20 Bellarmine, 7:18 to go. As it'll be Liker and Garcia back deep to receive.
This is a demonstration
Valencia
of
will kick it away. Last time it went to Izon Henry, and he returned it 25 yards on the pooch kick. This one on the ground, and that's going to go out of bounds. And they'll get the 35, really only like a 2-yard penalty there. That's going to be the worst starting field position for the Bells following a Riordan kickoff.
But I'm still not understanding what the Riordan strategy is here on kickoffs. It's not like the Bells have got
This
any
is
kick
a
return
demonstration
touchdowns.
of Wirecast.
I mean, do they not trust Valencia to be able to kick it that far? Because, I mean, this really
They
is...
must not.
Yeah, because this is not something you would expect, especially when they have a defense that struggles so much. Gifting yards to Bellarmine just doesn't seem like the right way to go.
So here we go. This drive will start from the 35, much like Riordan's did after a kickoff went out of bounds. And Riordan struck on the first play. They have 2 one-play touchdown drives.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And grown out of the gun. Quick screen toss to Pinelli. He's up to the 40. Gets dragged down there inbounds by Colonico at the 43-yard line for a gain of 8.
And you know, these quick screens, these plays are always like, in the West Coast offense anyway, designed to be your run plays. Get the ball out near the line of scrimmage, much like you would in a run, and try to see if your players can make anything out of it in space. The Bells have had great success running these plays so far.
Second down and
This
2 from
is
the
a
43,
demonstration of
6:45 to go.
Wirecast.
Clock running here, first half, 21-20 Bellarmine.
And you know, I'm surprised we haven't even seen one formation in the double wing set, even though the Bells aren't really personnel-wise ready for that. Surprised they still haven't gone to it for a little.
Throwing deep, Mingrone. A little too much on that one for Magri, and he was covered well by Williams also. So it brings up a 3rd and 2 from the 43. Clock stops with 6:23 to go,
This is a
second quarter.
demonstration of Wirecast.
But yeah, it has been strictly gun offense here for the Bells. And, well, they've put up 21 points already. Might as well keep running it.
I don't know. I feel like the Bells at some point are going to pull out the double wing, and it's going to catch Riordan off guard. Just want to see when they might do it.
And that's what Janda did say this week. We'll work in the other stuff, alluding to the double wing. So they're not going to completely abandon it. But
Wirecast.
again, out of the gun here on 3rd and 2. A keeper for Mingrone needs the 45, and he's not going to get there. Matthew Young, first guy there, also got help from Estrada on the play. And he is going to be 1 yard short. Also credit to Ivan Diaz.
Well, actually, they're marking this really close. It's a matter of mere inches. They're going to have to pull out for a measurement.
Well, if that ball's not touching the 45, it's not a first down because they spotted it directly at the 35 because of the kickoff. And, well, let's see.
I don't know. That looked like a really favorable spotting there for the Bells.
And the chain on the far side didn't look like the first down marker was directly at the 45. It's going to be close, but it shouldn't be a first down.
Well, you'll take whatever you can get. Little chain mishap never hurts the Bells.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, he's got it. Give him 2. I'm still not sure how the ball could be spotted at the 35 and you're at the 44 3/4, and that's 10 yards, but don't take it.
And one thing I saw there was really soft coverage by Williams on Magri. Bit surprised they didn't try to throw a quick out and get the yards that way. Instead, they have to go through almost not getting the first down and basically being have to gifted one by the officials in their spotting.
So 1st and 10 at the 45. Four wide set. Clock running under 6 minutes. Screen toss out to Liker and gets tripped up by the first guy, Colonico, and finished off there by Ian Tupalua.
And you know, this is a lot more of the type of offenses you typically see in high school. Screen passes, soft throws, allow your quarterback to be able to make quick reads, snap reads, not have to throw the ball too far, and let your major athletes, which you should have, find a way to make some plays in space.
5:25 to go first half. 2nd and 6 from the Bellarmine 49 for the Bells. 4 wide again. Garcia, the running back, picks up one pass rusher, but Mingrone flushed out of the pocket, and he is, going to spin his way out of a couple of tackles and gets into Riordan territory. Oh, the spin button pressed down there. That was circle in the old days on Madden. But wow, what a play by Mingrone.
Watching that play, I'm thinking, oh no, oh no, oh my God, yes! Look at that. One thing from Mingrone, he doesn't throw the ball away.
Yeah.
He always tries to make a play. This time it works out, brings it to a much more manageable third down for the Bells.
Yeah, gain of 3. The whole time you're watching that play, you're thinking, all right, he should throw it out of play, like you mentioned, Akshaj, but, well, he saw an opportunity. And you got to like that mentality from your quarterback. 4:50 to go first half. Ball at the 48 of Riordan. Big play here for the Bellarmine offense to stay on the field.
And you know, nothing would excite Coach Janda more than just killing out the rest of the time in the half and getting it down with a touchdown. That will be the perfect drive. Let's see if they can get something down like that. First, they got to convert here.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Liker in motion. Checks his reads, flushed out of the pocket. Hit as he throws, incomplete. And great pressure there by the Crusaders, applying the hit Raymond Russell. It brings up 4th and 3.
And you know, that was just poor protection there by the Bells. Pretty quickly broke apart. Not much you can do there except try again next time.
So 4:20 to go first half. 4th and 3 from the Crusaders' 40.
A demonstration
this
of
will be
Wirecast.
booted away by Schaefer.
And Raymond Russell leads this team with sacks with 2. Almost got another one right there. Seems to be the major disruptor for this Riordan defense.
Almost got his 3rd right there. Williams standing inside his own 10. Here comes the kick. Rugby-style boot. And Williams going to pick it up at the 6. Going to try to outrun the coverage. And great punt coverage there by the Bells.
This is a
Isaac Ketcher with the special teams play.
He really should have let that go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when you're a great athlete, you always think you can make a play no matter what. And we've seen it work in the past, but sometimes you got to do the smart thing, take the yards. Your offense is clicking. Don't make it harder for yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to see that play again, Akshaj, but I don't think Bellarmine was going to be able to get to that football before it crossed the goal line.
No.
So 1st and 10 here for the Crusaders, and it is a long field. They'll be starting this possession from their own 8-yard line after the 2-yard return from Marcus Williams. Jalen Camp, the running back, in this 4-receiver set. This is a pistol formation here for the Crusaders. And the give is to Camp. No, excuse me, that's Abdul Ghani on the keeper. Fooled everybody, or at least me, and does get past the 10. Nice play by Liker to force him out at around the 12-yard line.
Well, he definitely managed to fool Hagberg right there. Completely missed on it. Crashed down to get the running back. Abdul Ghani had a wide open lane there. Tried to make too much out of it. Sometimes you got to just take the yards that are available. Get your team in a better position for 2nd down.
2nd and 5 from the 13. Here's Camp, close to a 1st down. Oh, some extracurriculars on the play. Big push by Gabe Martin there, number 75, trying to play to the whistle. And he is going to be short by a yard. 3rd and 1 off the 4-yard carry from Camp.
And I would really like to see a run blitz here from the Bells. Fill in those A gaps. Make Abdul Ghani make a play, because you can't let them run the ball down your throat for this.
Milburn hit in the backfield. First guy there, Reese Burrill, number 35. And that is a loss of 2 yards on the play. And Riordan's going to have to kick.
You know, that was perfect right there. Don't let them run the ball down on you. They've shown they can pass, but they've also tried to lean on the run when they can. The passing game, except for some busted coverages, been pretty hard to come by. For Riordan, not being able to run the ball really closes up their playbook, according to Coach Morris. We'll see what they can do in the future.
Roberto Alas is back deep to boot it away, standing at his own goal line. number 10 in a white uniform for Riordan. At midfield for the Bells is Tyson Garcia. This punt will be coming from the 15. Good snap. Here's the kick from Alas. It is a nice high boot. Doesn't get a lot of yardage, but it will take a Crusader hop into Bellarmine territory. Down at the 49, 36-yard punt, no return. So Bellarmine, great field position with 2:32 to go in the first half.
And you know, I'm surprised that Alas isn't the one doing kickoff right there. That was a pretty good boot right there. It was. And I mean, Valencia, there's no way the Riordan's told him, you know, I want you to pooch it all the time. It must be caused because they don't expect him to kick it very far if he actually tries to.
Well, can't say I was ever a kicker, but it must be the difference between kicking, you know, punting style versus off the tee. Maybe that they feel like Valencia is the best going off the tee, but we'll see. 1st and 10 for the 49. Here's Mongrone looking deep. Nice throw. Wide open is Magri. Busted coverage. Easy touchdown. 51 yards to the Casa.
You take him when you can receive him. The Bells gave up a touchdown with the busted coverage. Get it right back with a busted coverage of their own by Riordan. Kellon Nico right there, missing on the coverage, way behind Magri for another touchdown.
And that was the first in the air for Bellarmine. 51-yard connection. And now Harry Mongrone, 9 of 12 for 135 yards. And that touchdown pass, the extra point is
a demonstration of
no good.
Wirecast.
And it's 27-20.
And you know, for officials judging that, I wonder how hard it is. I mean, the ball is so high up, you never really know. From here, I was almost sure it was good.
I thought it was good too. I didn't think it was close. They are the ones standing directly underneath the uprights, though, so I'll take their word for it. So 27-20 Bells, 2:24 to go. And there it is, first play on the drive, 51 yards. Mongrone didn't have to do a whole lot of work on that throw. He had his man wide open. There was about 5 yards of separation there between Kalanico and Anthony Magri.
But, you know, that missed PAT really hurts. It takes away what was basically your only advantage against Riordan. This game, with the way their offense has been running, could very well be tied heading into halftime. And for the Bells to play the way they did and only be tied, that wouldn't be a very good feeling heading into the halftime break.
That's a good point, Akshaj.
We've
already seen 2 one-play touchdown drives for the Crusaders this half. Bellarmine just had their first of this game, and their second in as many weeks after the Eyes on Henry 80-yard touchdown run 2 weekends ago in Napa. But plenty of time, 2:24 for Riordan. They have all 3 timeouts, and of course the clock stops after first down. So Schaefer, the kick, Wiley and Williams back deep for Riordan.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Nice high boot, and that is going to hop into the end zone.
Perfect kick right there by Schaefer. Exactly what you wanted.
So 1st and 10 from the 20. Clock still at 2:24 here in the second quarter.
Although I have seen some plays where the returning player, he'll step out of bounds and try to grab the ball. Because if he's out of bounds when he grabs it, it's technically a penalty. Not something you would expect to see, but an interesting wrinkle in the rule books.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. Didn't see it there. Well, 1st and 10 from the 24. Receiver set here, as usual, for Abdul Ghani. Williams in motion. And this is a give to Milburn. Outrunning Gustafson, who almost snuffed the play out from behind, but gets out of bounds at around the 25. So a solid gain on first down, and they don't need to use a timeout. Will be a 5-yard run for Milburn.
And you know, that's exactly what you want from Gustafson. He doesn't have to finish the play, but for him to be able to have that type of pursuit, absolutely beautiful.
Abdul Ghani gets the first down. He will be wrapped down at the 36. Nice gain of 11 yards for Abdul Ghani.
You think Bellarmine's going to let Abdul Ghani run now because of what just happened? You got to see. I mean, getting beat like that with a completely busted coverage might change the way they play against Abdul Ghani and these type of plays from now on.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first half.
This is
The
a demonstration
RPO,
of
the new phase,
Wirecast.
Yeah.
basically all of football.
Pump fake, couple of them. Abdul Ghani going to take off this time and gets up to the 41 for a gain of 5. Luke's playing there, had some help from Reese Burrill and Casey Jabe.
You know, 3 timeouts left for Riordan. They're in great position right here to get down the field and get some points. 2nd and 6, they have complete control over what they can do. But at the same time, you don't want to leave too much time for
This
Bellarmine
is a
to also get a
demonstration of
run on their own.
Wirecast.
And Bellarmine with 1 timeout remaining. 3 wide receivers far side here. And the slot is Kalanico. It's going to go over the head of Wiley. Nice coverage by Izon Henry. That'll set up a 3rd and 5 with 1:17 remaining.
You know, that's the first time we've said Henry's name on defense, which is almost always a good thing when you're
Yep.
a cornerback. The less you're mentioned, that means the less they're throwing at you. Great job by Henry so far in this game.
This is a demonstration of
And
Wirecast.
a timeout going to be taken by Riordan to talk over their 3rd down play. 3rd and 5 from the 41, 1:17 to go first half. Riordan has 2 timeouts remaining. Kevin Allen alongside Akshaj Druvidula. What do you draw up here if you're Riordan on this play?
Well, you know, I would like to see an RPO here just because it's worked so much for you in the past. Have Cam in there. Try to see if he can get a wide open lane.
This is a
Otherwise, have someone
demonstration
running
of
deep, have
Wirecast.
someone running across. And I think you'll be able to get big results out of this Bellarmine defense.
Yeah, the RPO you were mentioning has kind of been all the rage. Did you hear Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald's comments on the RPO?
No, I haven't. What were they?
He called them the purest form of communism. And I don't remember the reasoning why. I just remember the headline. And I'm not saying I agree with that at all. Just it was a funny comment that I remember hearing.
Well, you know, if you can't defend it, of course you're going to hate it.
Yeah, and it came
This
after a
is
loss to
demonstration
Akron.
of Wirecast.
Oh,
So-
well, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
But it's really good because what it does is it makes linebackers make a choice, and you can never make the right choice because either way you're giving something up. You either give up a rushing lane or you're giving up a wide open pass.
Yeah, it seems to be working well for a lot of teams. And here's Abdul Ghani tossing one beautifully to Williams. And Williams dragged down, and that's going to be a flag
This is
on
a
the newest
demonstration
member
of Wirecast.
of this Bellarmine team, number 42, Joaquin Moreno, who is the backup quarterback, got moved up from JV because of Nick Teresi's injury. Made the tackle there in the secondary, and they're going to add 15 yards to that after that 18-yard completion.
Looks like a face mask. It's always hard to not get your hands up there because with the webbing and the way that the helmets are built, it's so easy to just grab and pull, but you got to stay disciplined. That's a lot of
This
yards you
is
just
a
gave up
demonstration
for a
of
humming
Wirecast.
Riordan offense.
So they marked the ball at the 36. This is a face mask just of the 5-yard penalty variety. The handoff, Milburn hit first by Splain. Gets up to the 31, gain of 5, timeout called. 54.9 remaining. Second timeout called by Riordan. They got 1 left.
And you know, if you're Bellarmine, at this point, I think you got to put
This
Henry
is a
on Williams.
demonstration of
Lock him on
Wirecast.
one-on-one, have him shadow him around. Henry's shown he can make the big plays in coverage. Let's see if he can shut down Williams. Something to see when we start the third quarter.
Yeah, that one coverage, that nice coverage that we did mention, he was covering the slot receiver. And Williams, the guy who's been doing his damage on the edge. Out near the boundary. So 2nd and 5 from the Bellarmine 31. 27-20 Bell's lead.
This is a demonstration of
54.9 to play.
Wirecast.
Abdul Ghani out of shotgun. Milburn still the running back. Haven't seen Jalen Camp for a couple of series. Number 23, who is their starting running back, who had 157 rushing yards last week. Abdul Ghani, beautiful throw.
Wirecast.
Williams pushed out by Liker at around the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 16 and another Crusader first down.
And that's a major no-no. You can't, in good conscience, put your linebacker on their best wide receiver. If you're expecting anything other than what you just saw, you're going to be sadly mistaken. You really need to put corners or safeties on their best wide receivers.
This pass deflected.
A play on.
It's not there.
Might be the play.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast. 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 This is a demonstration.
You're watching Bellarmine
of
take on
Wirecast.
Archbishop Riordan in the WCL opener. Your Bells have a 27-20 lead entering the third quarter. Swinging over to Kevin Dana, who will give you some stats about the first half.
Yeah, we saw 2 touchdowns and that 1 interception. Leading rusher for Riordan, Jalen Camp, 8 carries, 81 yards. Leading rusher for Bellarmine is the quarterback, Harry McGrone, 7 for 56. That's a look at the first half stats. And also, Akshaj, just give you an update on some scores from around the WCAL. We have 3 games at halftime. Sarah blowing away Mitty 35-0. That game being played at Foothill College. At the half, St. Francis leading St. Ignatius 21-6, and Valley Christian with a 10-7 lead over Sacred Heart Cathedral. 24 minutes in the books there.
So, Kevin, we've been watching one half of football. What's some takeaways you've seen from both sides?
Well, I think both sides have to be happy with the way they have moved the football. For Riordan, has been the shock play, the big play. They've had 2 touchdowns of 65-plus yards. The first play from scrimmage, an 80-yard touchdown, then they had a 65-yard touchdown. For Bellarmine, the drives have been a little more methodical, and you certainly like that, but they've hit some big gainers as well, including that 39-yard scamper from Harry McGrone. I mean, obviously, the advantage goes to the Bells on the scoreboard, but Riordan has outgained the Bells actually by a pretty sizable margin to this point. So the Crusaders don't look like they're going to be stopped anytime soon.
So some key plays for your Bells. Magri with an interception of Adham Abdel Ghani, leading to the Bells getting more points, and a 51-yard touchdown pass from Harry McGrone to Magri, playing wide receiver as well. As we're under a minute now, about to get kicked off for the third quarter. The Bellarmine Bells play Sarah next week, while Archbishop Riordan plays Archbishop Mitty. So that game you were talking about doesn't seem to be going in the Bells' favor.
No, that Sarah game is going to be very tough for Bellarmine. Sarah coming off a state championship last year. Patrick Walsh, one of the best coaches in the Bay Area. That'll be a tough one.
Chris Wiley and Marcus Williams back deep for Riordan, while we have Andrew Schaefer out to kick. The Bells have tried to keep it away from Williams, who's had some big runs in this game, hasn't he?
Oh, he really has. Williams, 80-yard touchdown reception, then had a 60, he didn't have a 65-yard, but also had an 11-yarder, a 16-yarder. He's had some big plays in the passing game, and certainly a capable returner as well.
Third quarter about to get underway. Let's get started with some more Bellarmine football. Schaefer getting ready, about to kick it off to start the third quarter.
Again, we've seen a couple of touchbacks. That'd be nice to see here. That won't reach the end zone.
Received by Williams. He's done big plays with the ball, has some blocks, running down the far sideline, gets the edge before he's run out of bounds by a horde of Bells. See Ben Richards there near the play, as well as Dominic Gutadaro. And now coming back onto the field is the Riordan offense. 20 points is nothing to laugh at when you're exiting a first half, yet they're still down on the scoreboard. What do you think they need to do to get back into this game?
Well, for them, as Jason Morris, their head coach, told both of us, Akshaj, it's on the defensive end because he's got a lot of confidence in this offense.
Is a demonstration
but
of
you'd like to think if you score 20 points at halftime, you're on pace for 40 points, you're going to win the game. Well, that's not going to be the case unless they hold Bellarmine to like 1 score here in the second half. That's going to be their task.
Gun formation with Camp in the backfield, run right up the middle before he gets taken down. Luke Splain in on the tackle. Looks like a gain of 2 yards, leading to 3 yards. Correct that, leading to 2nd and 7 for the Riordan Crusaders.
This
Hurry up
is a
offense, same
demonstration of
formation.
Wirecast.
Awolgani hands it back off to Camp, makes a nice move before Splain comes in, along with a bevy of Bells, among them Reese Burrell. Great tackling there by the Bellarmine Bells.
You know, we've called Reese's name a lot in this game. He's done a nice job there as a linebacker tonight, making things play, blowing up running plays. At camp, he made one guy miss in the backfield. Nice job to make one cut, but there was a ton of guys in blue waiting for him just as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 6, early
This
test
is a
for this Riordan
demonstration of
offense.
Wirecast.
Shotgun snap, looks like Awolgani is looking back to pass. Good pass rush there, trying to keep contained. He's going to tuck it and run. Gets run out of bounds. Casey Jabe, along with Ryan Hagberg there, running him out of bounds, bringing a 4th down and a punt for the Riordan Crusaders.
And while he didn't make the tackle, I really like the play that Reese Burrill made there. He made sure, he's kind of spying the quarterback, made sure they're going to go for it, that Abdul-Ghani didn't get the edge.
Interesting play there, and it works out as Camp spins away before being wrestled down. Good enough for a 1st down, moving the chains. We saw this in the 2nd quarter. Less than a minute to go in the red zone. Coach Morris opts to go for it. They don't get it. Opting to stay aggressive here right now.
Yeah, hey, sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
1st and 10 at the 49. Deep pass, tries to throw it. Unable to find anyone. Great pressure there by Marcus Mifson. Has to throw it at the feet of Camp.
Yeah, smart play there by Abdul-Ghani. You have nothing, just to live for 2nd down.
2nd and 10, 10:27 left to go. Bells up 27-20. Same basic formation. Trips to the left. One receiver to the near side. Handoff over to the backup running back. That's Nicholas Milburn, and he's able to move up for 5 yards. And it looks like there was a fumble.
Well, the Bells saying they have it. Now, I don't. They're saying he was down first.
And on the ground there, Marcus Mifson in a little bit of pain, it seems, but looks like he'll be all right. Checking into the game for the Bells, Gustafson. We've said his name a lot, too, off the edge. 3rd and 5, go for the Bells. Oh, off the hands of Jack Kalanico right there. It's going to be 4th down and 5 at the 44. Let's see what Coach Morris decides to do here.
Oh, he's going for it.
He's stuck with it before. 4th and 2, actually. They correct that. 4th and 2 at the 44. 9:56 left to go. They bring Camp back in. Trips formation. Far receiver is Joshua De Jesus. Near side trips. They have Camp in the backfield. Let's see what they do here. Drop back to pass. Throw it deep to De Jesus. Great coverage by Henry, and Henry picks it off. Great play by Izon Henry, and the Bells will get the ball at the 11-yard line. Great play there by Henry, don't you think?
Izon Henry, we've seen him over the course of this season go step for step with the opposing team's deep threat, and he played that ball perfectly. Now, of course, you'd like him to bat that one down on 4th down, but hey, you'll take the interception. You'll take the turnover on downs. Great play by Izon Henry. And I must say, this Bellarmine Bellarmine secondary has really done a nice job against Abdul-Ghani. After he completed 5 of his first 7 passes, he has not completed a pass in his last 6 attempts.
Shotgun formation for the Bells. Well, actually, scratch that. They're in the pistol right now. Handoff to Garcia. Garcia with a hole before he's wrapped up. Gerald Taylor in on the stop. That's going to be, looks like a 5-yard gain for the Bells.
And what you would like here is a nice long drive that results in points that gives you a demonstration-score lead.
2nd and 6 at the 17 for the Bells. Mingrone coming back. He has the play call. He's been great so far managing the game, making plays with his legs and his arm. Back looks like shotgun has Garcia in the backfield with him. Handoff to Garcia again. Tries to find a hole before he's brought down. Looked like Matthew Young there on the tackle. Gain of about 5. It's going to bring up third and a long one for the Bells.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
There we go. You'd like to just kind of punch this one across the 18 using, across the 23 with your guy Garcia, who has had a couple of nice gains here on first and second down. Like to trust your offensive line here, get that 1 yard and move the chains.
This is probably the closest we've seen Bellarmine coming in a bunch formation. Hand it back off to Garcia. Nice hole. He slips. Gets brought down by Carter Carlson. Manages to get the first down. Gain of about 4, I would say. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. 8:23 left to go in this third quarter. Bellarmine up 27-20.
Hey, Garcia running behind that left side of the offensive line, which really
there. He's playing in the slot. He's been huge for almost the master of the spin move. The Bells will take yards wherever they can. Becomes a second. Gets away from the Bell defenders, and he'll rush all the way for.
Dula, and after 47 points in the first half combined, we had none in the third quarter. Still 27-20 Bells. 2nd and 7 at midfield coming up here for the Crusaders. Abdul Ghani out of the pistol. The handoff is to Camp. He's approaching 100 yards, and that's going to be a horse collar called on Hayden Lackaboo.
Great pursuit there by Hayden Lackaboo. Just got to be able to tackle a little lower right there. Great try on the play, but you got to execute a little better. 3 yards is something you can't give a struggling offense.
Well, hey, it's actually going against Riordan.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Holding penalty called. And Bellarmine will take that. So it's a 2nd and long instead of a first down deep into Bellarmine territory. The line to gain is the 43. They are at 2nd and 16 now. Back to pass, Abdul Ghani looking far side, has his man Williams. First time he has completed a pass in 9 tries. Forced out by Casey J. Ball did come loose, but they're going to rule it a completion. And well, he got 15 of the 16 yards. No, they got exactly 16. They give him the first down.
And at some point, Bellarmine's got to make a decision. It looks like they really need to put Henry on Williams. He's been their best corner. Best receiver, giving how much time he had. I'm not really sure why, but he stared it off.
3rd and 19 from the Riordan 48. The line to gain is the 3rd. Marcus Mifsud. There goes that man again, Akshaj.
Marcus Mifsud making a name for himself.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Mark him down, it looks like at the 21, so that would be a 34-yard punt. And the Bells will take over with a touchdown lead, 9:48 remaining, 4th quarter. And they actually give them the 22, so 33-yard punt, no return.
For Bellarmine, this has to be the drive they've wanted to have this entire game. Nice, long, 7-minute, 6-minute drive, methodically marching down the field, run it down Riordan's throats, punch it into end zone with around 2 minutes left to go, call it night, and go home for next week against Sarah.
Well, doesn't that sound perfect? That would certainly be the ideal case. They call it the 4-minute offense here. You got to lead in the 4th quarter, trying to protect it, trying to keep the ball out of the hands of that very explosive Riordan offense. Must have been a penalty afterwards, as they do move the ball back to the 12.
That's the first penalty in scrimmage, actually, against Bellarmine. very well-disciplined team under Coach Janda doesn't beat themselves, which you can say about a lot of the great teams in any sport.
And here comes the double wing. Inside handoff, Liker going to get past the 15. Oh, pushing that pile forward, the Bellarmine offensive line. They're going to give him up to the 17, it appears. Excuse me, that was Garcia on the carry.
And Coach
Garcia again running to his right and getting.
My eyes deceive me, or I swore I saw him blunt. I mean, the
territory, a gain of 13 on the play, and it's
coverage has simply been available and open whenever Mingroans needed to make a tough pass. First man count. Specialty moves. Barry Sander had that beautiful juke. Looks like Harry Mingrone might have the spin move down. I mean, he's pulling it out like a pro.
Toss back to Garcia, running off from the right side of the line. He keeps his feet churning. He's inside the 30, bringing him down on that play, Michael Estrada, but not before a gain of 6.
You know, one thing about Garcia is he's stopped. He's stationary, trying to move forward, and no one can touch him. This is great blocking by Bellarmine, allowing him to spring for these extra yards.
I'd expect potentially after this next first down for Riordan to call timeout on the next second down.
I don't know if Riordan's too worried about time like for their offense. They've gotten 2 big play touchdowns. They can score in a hurry. But you're right. You don't want to waste your timeouts, though, because your defense might not be able to stop Bellarmine at all.
Garcia, he's got another first down and then some. Stays on his feet. Does go out of bounds. That's probably not what he wanted, but it was a very impressive run as Bellarmine just keeps the ball moving. This is going to be a gain of 10 yards for Garcia, and he is at 98 yards by our accounting.
This man is on a mission. No one can bring him down on the first hit. He was done for, and he still managed to stay on his feet. This is a great performance by Garcia. The numbers might not show that he's been lighting it up, but anyone who's seen this knows he's the reason Bellarmine has the lead.
3:41 to go. Mingrone slips one tackle. He's close to another first down as he's wrestled down by number 43, Almatagi.
Much as you don't want a touchdown there, you really do, and great job by Garcia. Absolutely perfect run, capping off what's been an incredible game for him. For Bellarmine now, it's all about the defense, what they can do, how they can cover, and how they'll be able to stop this high-powered Riordan offense.
Schaefer for the PAT, that's good, and it's 34-20 Bellarmine with 2:54 to go in the 4th. Tyson Garcia, by our math, 23 carries, 113 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So it is 34-20. With 2:54 to go.
You know, this is where Riordan, this is where their philosophy is. There's a quick strike offensive team. Their offense has pretty much stagnated in this second half, but we really got to see what they're going to do. I'm hoping that Riordan can score just because, as a football fan, there's nothing more I love to see than a last-second effort to try to get the ball into the end zone for a touchdown. I don't know. That might not be the right thing to say, saying I hope the other team scores. I'm allowed to be selfish when I'm watching football.
Well, Bellarmine would like a 34-20 victory, I'm sure. But they have shut Riordan off. They shut Riordan out here in the second half.
And it's been through the ground. I mean, the running game has been a bit of issue, but for the most part, they've been able to shut down the Riordan run game. Camp and Abdelghani not being able to do as well. Kicker's going to go out of bounds.
Well, that's not a good start.
Well, I mean, I asked for a 7-minute drive, and we got a 6-minute one. I asked for some points. We start off like this. I'm a bit scared about what I'm going to say next.
Wirecast.
Akshajadamas.
Watch out, Tony Romo. I'm coming for you.
First, 2:54 left here. Fourth quarter. Bell's up 2 scores. 1 timeout for Riordan. They'd have to onside kick it with 1 timeout. First things first, they need a touchdown.
And you know, as weird as it is to say, I wouldn't be surprised if when play action here or an RPO, it's worked well for them, those 2 plays. And an RPO essentially can become a play action because when you don't choose the running play, you've basically faked the run.
I think there was just an unsportsmanlike conduct called on Bellarmine, so the ball's in midfield.
Oh, boy. Lots of things compounding for the Bells right now. The last thing you want is give a team a chance to score even faster. Of course, the onside kick is going to be the biggest part of this game. But still, if Riordan can score and still have 2 minutes left on the clock, it's anyone's game if they get that onside kick back.
Abdelghani back to pass. Throws that one too short. One hopping it to Marcus Williams. Good coverage by Casey Jabe on the play. 2nd and 10, 2:50 remaining.
For Abdelghani, this is going to be an interesting test of his skills. He can't scramble as much because that kills too much time. Has to be able to sit in the pocket, read the defense, try to throw some dimes around here. It'll be interesting to see if they target who Izon Henry's covering, if they're just going to leave that man away.
Beautifully lofted ball, but just kind of carried Marcus Williams a little close to out of bounds. He dropped it anyways. And it is 3rd and 10 at midfield now. You have Abdelghani 7 for 19 for 213 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Those 2 picks have been killers. One of them, when Bellarmine and Riordan were about tied, that really changed the momentum of the game. And another one kind of started this Bell dominance on defense entering the second half.
Riordan yet to score in the second half. Big 3rd and 10. Throws deep and nobody home near sideline. Closest guy there was either Tyson Garcia or Anthony Magri. And it's 4th and 10. Miscommunication with the receivers there potentially.
And I always get confused by this because by the rule, that should be an intentional grounding. No one was in the area. Yeah. He was in the pocket.
We saw that called in the Jets-Browns game last night. I forget which quarterback it was, but that was called last night. So 4th and 10. Well, Riordan needs a first down here to keep its hopes alive.
Great pass rush by the Bells, and he underthrows it.
Incomplete. He was looking for Williams. Liker there on the coverage, and the Bells take over on downs at midfield.
And this game is pretty much over.
Of Wirecast.
Yeah, just 1 timeout, 2:37 left for Riordan to try to get back in this game. And the Bells, they can officially put this one to bed with Riordan using its final timeout and getting a first down.
One thing you don't want to do, let the ball slip out of your hands. 2 hands on the ball. Don't try to make any big plays. Run it in, hold on super tight, fall down to avoid the big hit.
Stay in bounds. Toss back to Garcia, running off right guard, going nowhere near the sideline. He'll get one. That'll work just as well. And there's the final timeout for Riordan.
You know, that was kind of the issue with Riordan using their timeouts ahead. You knew they had to, but the problem was there was almost no chance their defense was going to actually be able to stop Bell. They got kind of lucky in the sense that Garcia scored as early as he did, but Riordan's defensive woes continue in this game.
2:30 left, no timeouts.
This is a demonstration
2nd and 9 from the Crusader 49.
Although Riordan technically is lowering their season average of points, they've allowed over 40 points per game, only allowing 34 in this one. Small victories you can take out of what must be a crushing blow.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll say Riordan last year, they went 2-8. Jason Moore is saying it was a tough season for us. A lot of those games, they were not competitive. Shut out by Sarah, Mitty, St. Francis, and Valley Christian, losing those games by a combined score of 153-0. They were competitive against Bellarmine, lost 21-14. Put up a fight against St. Ignatius, losing in overtime, and lost to Sacred Heart Cathedral 42-21. So they were certainly competitive tonight against the Bells. Inside handoff, Garcia. Nice big gain potentially, but elects to just be careful there. That's all you need. 5-yard gain. He's up to 119 by our count on 25 carries.
The exploits of Garcia continue to amaze me. How is no one able to tackle him? It's like he runs into a big forest and comes out completely unscathed.
3rd and 4. And if they convert on first down here, then the Bells can get into the old victory formation. First things first, converting 3rd and 4. 150 and counting.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Garcia following his blockers. He's got the first down and then some.
What a fitting way to end the game.
6 for Garcia. That puts him at 125 on the ground by our counts. A 3 rushing touchdown day for Tyson Garcia. And the Bells can just knee on it now with 125 to go. And a nice way for the Bells to start WCAL play.
Oh yeah, this is basically everything they would want. Taking a high-powered offense in Riordan, practically shutting them down, shutting them out in the second half, and on offense scoring 34 and showing you can throw and run. This is big things for the Bells in the future.
Yep. Min Grown started 7 for 8 for 80 yards. Finished 10 of 15 for 147. Only attempted 3 passes in the second half, but that's when they got the run game going. In addition to Garcia rushing for 125, been grown by our numbers 86 yards on the ground.
Yeah, and you know, it was a 3-headed attack really. And Mingrown
goes up.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast. This is a demonstration of Wirecast. This is a demonstration of Wirecast.